My 46 female husband, 47 male, is demanding a PostNup. For those that don't know, postnuptial agreements are those that are come to signed after you've already been married. Similar to a prenup, but postnup.
A post.
Never knew.
My husband and I have been together for 15 years and married for 8. We have a 6-year-old daughter together. Before getting married, my husband was first a nurse, but he was unhappy in that field. He ended up quitting his job and doing 2 years of working a lot short-lived odd jobs before deciding to go to vet school. This was done against all advice from others because of the expense involved. His parents refused to pay. So I ended up co-signing the loan and working to support us both. He got out of school 9 years ago. We married when he was struggling to find a position at a place that paid the average rate for a vet. We moved so he could get a position he was happy with. Since then, he has first earned a high salary and then was liked enough by patrons that he ended up opening up a clinic of his own. Now, he has 2 locations with employees that work under him. He also has parlayed his previous experience in nursing and business to consult on the side for businesses such as nursing homes, hospice, substance abuse treatment facilities. We had a bump in the 3rd year of marriage because he didn't want me to work anymore. He made me feel like my salary no longer meant anything. I ended up quitting because of my mom guilt. I am currently looking at online college options since I only have an associate degree. Recently, he's been very distant. I just have that intuitive pit in my stomach when he would travel for a consulting project and not answer my text or call me when promised, or him sounded like he was whispering when he did call me. There's an intern he hired 2 years ago whose mother was bold enough to come up to me at a party and say that my husband really adores her daughter and she has hearts in her eyes with him. I keep thinking, no way, because she is 25 years his junior and has a boyfriend. But she treats me with open disrespect, and my husband doesn't care that I'm hurt by it. He's always on his phone, ignoring me when I speak. The intern was out of the picture for a while, but now I saw her name pop up on his phone several times. At an event, my husband pushed past our daughter to speak to her. I don't think I'm a jealous person normally. I don't begrudge my husband finding other women attractive, even if he doesn't hide it from me. But I want warmth from my husband, and I don't want him to act on these feelings of attraction to other women. We had a fight about me refusing to get a tummy tuck, and then he caught me looking at credit card statements and flipped out, leaving the house. He came back calmer and said that he's sorry if he's intense. Most people in his field are. He also said that a lot of the business world he's a part of is something I'll never understand. He said he has employees to think about and asked me to sign a postnup. He said that it shouldn't be a big deal if I wasn't with him for the money. I was shocked and asked him how long he's had this on his mind. He said that it's been on it for a while, but he got pretty angry when our daughter recently blurted out that she will help animals like Dad. He says that he believes I'm teaching our daughter to be entitled and thinking that she'll inherit any of his business, or that I was passing on this attitude by trying to subtly meddle in his business. I asked what the terms of the postnup were, and he showed me a draft. It says that I will get $10,000 a year for every year we are married, to be paid out in yearly installments for the length of our marriage. I could also keep any gifts he bought me during the marriage. I would refinance to buy him out of our heavily mortgaged property, which I won't be able to afford to keep as a result. In addition, the $10,000 a year would be lowered if he ended up having other dependents, with a certain amount for each dependent he ended up gaining. I would forfeit any claim to his vet clinics or other side income. I was in shock. I asked rather dryly if he couldn't put in a compensation for the amount of debt that I took on and paid a huge part in paying off for him to get his education. I also asked if there could be a mutual infidelity or abandonment clause. He flipped out and said that infidelity clauses annoy judges because then everybody will be hiding in the bushes to spy on their partners. He said that if I loved him for him, then I'd sign it and understand why I needed to. But if I didn't, then I'm not the same woman he married. What do I do? He always seems to have legal counsel around him advising him on how to come out on top. And this document essentially gives me less a year than his business can earn in a week.
I'm so angry. I couldn't, I was clenching my fist.
I know, you are mad Arthur.
I'm Arthur fisting over here. Everything, it just kept, I didn't think it could get worse.
It was,
and then somehow he would just make it worse. This man is so deranged and manipulative. I understand we're only hearing her side, of course.
I don't know how you could manipulate what the facts of that PostNup are, though.
What do you mean?
Her stating 10,000 a year, that.
Right.
She could be lying about the intern and all this other shit. But even if there wasn't a sketchy intern and it was just this PostNup.
First of all, $10,000 a year. I'm sorry. In this economy. Second of all, I don't even know where to start. Justin, can you? I'm too mad. I'm seeing red.
Okay, good. So I'm not sensitive on this one.
No,
okay,
are you
good.
kidding me? I'm pretty chill with this kind of stuff because I feel like I've seen it all. I'm a child of divorce, lots of divorce in my family. Luckily, it wasn't on the premise of infidelity or anything like that, but I'm no stranger to these terms. The audacity that this man has.
Not even allowing an infidelity clause. Also.
And then all of a sudden he turned into a lawyer and he was like, they annoy judges. Oh, because you're a lawyer?
No. Infidelity clauses are standard in prenups and postnups.
Yeah.
And the minute that someone has breached that infidelity clause, that whole prenup is null and void.
Yeah.
It is a tear it up.
That's not unusual.
That's not unusual at all.
This man, he really said, I'm actually also a lawyer and this really annoys judges. I would know. What?
This was Gaslight 101. The thing that has me, my spidey senses tingling.
Was when he said, what?
The dependents.
Oh.
In addition to 10,000 a year, it would be lowered if he ended up having other dependents with a certain amount for each dependent. Basically saying if he has other kids, you're getting none of my money. Mm-hmm. There's a baby on the way.
So sickening.
There is a baby on the way already.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't be surprised if that intern's little girl is his.
I hated that intern situation. First of all, can these men get creative? It's always the intern. Stop it.
Please get more creative in your cheating.
Yeah, stop. Don't cheat, but if you're going to cheat, get creative because I'm tired of that plot. It is so overdone.
We need some new material here, guys.
We need something new. Spice it up, men. Okay, let's hear from the man.
Take it away.
I have two things.
Okay.
First one, it amazes me how people can get to positions of success and not realize how they got there.
She paid for his school.
She is literally the direct reason he is where he is.
Yeah.
To the point where he told her to stop working.
Forced her.
That part
Guilted
really,
her.
In a way almost to guilt, in a way almost to say, thank you. It was for me, him making that action is going to be perceived by her as you got me here. Your time.
It should have been.
Right?
But I don't think it was.
I don't think it was
I know,
either.
but I'm saying in a manipulative way.
Yeah.
That is kind of how it's coming across, maybe to her, or how he thinks she'll see it. Potentially. But
Stick a pin in that.
Regardless, I don't know. I lost it after
No,
that.
I want you to finish your thought. I just didn't want to cut you off.
No, you got it. 2.
That doesn't help.
She's like, if I say,
2.
Okay, well, let's let it come back to you.
So with you saying that though, one, they both started from the bottom. She had an associate's degree. He was a nurse, went back to school. They're starting from ground zero together. Mm-hmm. They didn't have assets, so they didn't have a prenup. They're on equal grounds. So her taking out half of the loan for his student debt, which therefore put him in a position to become a vet, to open up these practices. Her staying home to raise their kid, which was guilted. I think she felt that
he made her feel that income was insignificant.
Exactly.
That's why I don't necessarily think that he did it in a way where she perceived it as a thank you.
Yeah.
Because she explicitly says that he made her feel like her income was no longer significant.
That felt like a power move
Like,
to
stay
be
home,
like,
sweetie.
I run everything.
Yeah, I got
own
this.
I
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so PostNup, no, do not sign, because either way he's going to divorce you, and
You'll get more if you divorce.
she owns half.
Yeah.
Half of everything is hers. And I'm not a judge, I'm not a lawyer, but like they built it from the ground up together. And if you went to court and said, I took out the loan to finance his education.
Oh, she is rock solid case.
Like, it's
And he
gotta
knows
be.
it, and that's why he's going for all
Yeah.
this.
That's
I agree.
the only reason he's pushing this PostNup, because I wouldn't be surprised if she signs it and he drops a divorce bomb a week later.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like he's like,
Even that, it's like a prenup to a divorce almost. Like it's like a,
he's priming it.
right. And I think even then he's going to have a hard time. But regardless, I think the scariest thing, I previously have said, my biggest fear would be Morgan having a conversation and being just like, I am just not feeling anything anymore. Like basically falling out of love.
Yeah.
I think equally as scary is Morgan just all of a sudden being someone I completely just like different than I ever knew.
Yeah.
Just not like, you're just not even the person I ever thought, the person I thought I knew the best.
Yeah.
And you're just totally different.
Money changes people. Money and success and
More
accolades.
money, more problems.
Yeah. This is a prime example. I mean, he just let the money and the prestige, now he's like this renowned vet with all these other, incomes and locations. And he just let that get to his head, and he completely forgot where he came from. He completely forgot of who was there for him and helped him elevate to that place.
Yeah.
Like you just said, he somehow got amnesia and forgot that his wife was down there in the trenches with him, fighting to make sure that he's successful and to be where he is today. Somehow he just can disregard that or completely forgot and disassociated from it. And it's disgusting behavior and if you fall out of love with this person and you want to get divorced, fine, but do it with
Right.
some class. Like don't set the stage this is quite literally setting her up for failure.
Yeah.
He is essentially leaving her out high and dry, knowing damn well this woman doesn't have the right education to get her a high paying job at this point in her life. She said she can't even really afford the mortgage. It's very expensive.
Well, and they've refinanced the mortgage.
Right.
So basically they took out a secondary loan on their house to pull money from that asset.
Right.
So I'm sure he used that for what? A second vet clinic,
Yeah.
which therefore he then reaps the benefits of all, and she's left with the mortgage on a home.
She has such a good case though.
But yes, and I hope like the top comment is get yourself a lawyer.
Yeah. I was just going to say lawyer up, please.
You have been together long enough and shared finances throughout school and created his business. No lawyer is going to let you agree to this. But imagine a woman not in her position. Imagine a woman that didn't reach out to Reddit, or a man, or anyone in this similar position. Like, he is being so manipulative. If you love me, if you're the woman I married, if you're with me for the right reasons and not money, you'll do this.
I'm sorry, what? Literally, when we were together, you were not rich. Like when they started out together, like you said, they were at the bottom together.
Ground zero, yeah. Can someone explain to me why he's also trying to fight his 6-year-old?
When did he fight his 6-year-old?
So she asked him like how long he's had this on his mind. He said that it's been a while, but he got pretty angry when our daughter recently blurted out that she will help animals like dad. He says that he believes I'm teaching our daughter to be entitled and thinking she'll inherit any of his business.
What?
It's because he's seeing everything through the same lens right now. He's just seeing like it's
Her
like
as an enemy too?
it's like a rabid dog that's protecting a bone.
Yeah.
True.
That's
It's
a good
just
analogy.
like I don't understand how people become so nasty.
Because there's something larger at stake for him. And that might be another family, another woman.
Right. There's got to be
There's something else that is clouding his ability to see the value of his family.
Yeah.
Or he's on some crazy drugs.
Yeah. Or this man is, he sounds
How do you just become so terrible?
like a sociopath. I mean, I hate to just label somebody, and I know that term gets thrown around a lot, but he truly sounds like the embodiment of somebody who completely lacks empathy and, just can't even have compassion. It's one thing.
Right? Like zero.
Zero compassion for his family and his wife.
It's like a serial killer.
Truly. And also,
It
are we
is
just
in a
gonna
sense
gloss over the tummy tuck situation?
Oh, I forgot.
It all goes
It's all
hand in hand.
bad.
Yeah.
It's all bad. It's literally all bad. Yeah, to like pressure someone into getting a tummy tuck.
Are we surprised
bad.
though, knowing the rest of the story? Like,
It just adds. It's just
No,
fuel
but-
on the fire.
But honestly,
I hate
kind
him.
of, yeah, because the reason that kind of surprises me is everything about this story has led to we all have kind of guessed this man he's gearing up to divorce you. He's building his case.
Yeah.
He's getting ready to leave you. So why would he put pressure on her to get a medical procedure, like an alteration to her appearance, if he doesn't really want to invest in her anymore?
I'm just curious what the timeline is.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I wonder how long ago that was.
True.
If OP's kind of like really laying it all out, because the intern stuff like started years ago, and like I don't know why an intern is calling him. Anyways, it's just this is done. Like this is done. And
Midlife.
yeah, and so like the next comment after that one is this. Just to be clear, by quote, get yourself a lawyer, we mean a good divorce lawyer.
Yeah.
We don't mean she should even consider this PostNup. He's obviously trying to create a firewall for when he dumps OP.
Bingo.
And then next comment, there are some elements in this story that could point to narcissistic behavior. OP is potentially unaware of that. Him being a nurse, not liking that, changing jobs a lot of times. Everything is not good enough until he finally has his own clinic. Him using others, his then girlfriend's money to get ahead. Him feeling entitled to more than what usual people would find just. Him weaseling arguments with absurd claims. There could be quite some stuff that OP isn't telling because she hasn't even realized. I hope OP manages to divorce without being fucked over too much and manages to keep the warmth in her life that she seeks.
Yeah.
And then someone else, there was one that I saw where someone, just, like this is one comment from someone. I wish I should, is there anything behind my computer? Okay. This is one comment from someone. So this is the start of it.
Oh, yeah.
You see the bold? Just wait. They broke down point by point
His behavior.
everything OP said. Like that's how long it is.
Wow.
So I'll be sure to put the link on the YouTube. If I don't, remind me. I'll post it. I forget a lot of times.
You know what I would do?
Put it.
I would say, here, I signed it, put it in a little like folder thing, and then it's divorce papers that you've already signed.
Yeah.
Half of everything, bitch.
Because then it's like, he's like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
I got it. And then
He opens it up.
Yeah.
Oh, he you know who he reminds me of? I don't know why. Like Count Olaf. Did you guys ever read those books?
not really.
What? A
No.
series of unfortunate events?
No, I watched the show on Netflix a little bit.
Doesn't
though.
even compare.
No, okay.
Doesn't even
Count
compare.
Olaf.
Those
Okay.
books were my jam. Count Olaf was so greedy. Count Olaf.
You're still mad.
I'm still mad. I'm just,
Yeah.
this person has, I don't know, no words.
Someone else goes to the elephant in the room is that it's a PostNup. PostNuts don't really exist. They're
That's
not a
what I was
thing.
going to say. Yeah.
Postnups?
I've
They
never
do.
heard of
They're
that.
they're
They
a real
do.
thing. They're
Yeah.
real. But like, also, why would you sign it?
Under what circumstance? Does it make actual sense for
So,
both parties?
I've only come across a few actual people that I know who have considered and entertained the idea. Not that many, but these are my personal data points. They've all revolved around the theme of infidelity. Somebody was cheating, and then they're basically like, whoa, 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 you're not the person I thought you were. And typically one person is out. Like there's a lot of money online. That's where
Got it.
I've seen it be relevant. So again, I'm sure there's a lot of other reasons why people consider these. Perhaps somebody inherits a lot of wealth and all of a sudden the playing field isn't the same that it was and you have to protect what's yours.
Sure.
You know, but at the same time, I don't know. We could go down the rabbit hole, but it signals something to me. It's the
Yeah.
signaling behind it.
Well, so like one of the things is like postnups. I Googled. Postnups are mostly about money and protecting assets in the case of divorce, and postnups may be written when a couple is in crisis or concerned about the state of their union. And so example one or both of you are wealthy. So it's to make sure that each spouse exits the union whole. So if you do have a shit ton of money and you just want a clean divorce, you can have a postnup agreement that literally says we will split everything 50-50, or I will come away with what I had, they will come away with what they had. So if you didn't do the prenup to protect stuff that you had, like You could say, hey, I just want to keep my family's house if things ever go south. Can we sign a
Isn't
PostNup?
that just like a divorce agreement, or is it
No,
always?
it's kind of like, do you know when you go to Apple and they offer you like Apple Care and you have 14 days to think about it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're like, nah, I'm good, right? But then a month later, your AirPods starts acting a little weird. And you're like, Apple Care is sounding really nice right about now, because you're starting to kind of, your faith is a little rocky in your product.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, yeah, there's tons of reasons why people might consider one, but why didn't you think of that before the fact?
Right. That's what
Yeah.
I mean. How is it different than just like a regular divorce?
Because it's not a divorce.
Proceeding.
It's not a divorce. It can withstand the rest of your marriage, whether that's 10 years, 15, 20. So number 4 on the example
But wouldn't a
list.
divorce negate it
No,
regardless?
all it's saying is we didn't get this agreement pre-wedding.
Huh. Okay.
It's just same agreement as a prenup. It's
Post-nuptials.
just post the marriage.
Yeah. So point number 4, you hated the idea of a prenup, but now you want one.
Exactly.
So a divorce proceeding would follow the postnuptial agreement in the same way that a prenup is followed. It's a guideline for how to proceed through your divorce.
Right. It's just a timing element. That's really the major difference.
Yeah.
Because you still agree, you still have to come to agreements on all of that kind of stuff when you get a divorce. You still have to
Yeah.
divide assets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is this changing about that?
She gives up everything.
I understand in this manipulative, weird case, I'm saying as a couple that goes into it and does it for mutual benefit.
Yeah. So it's
How would it differ? What's going to change between the time you sign that and a divorce? You know what I mean?
It's a game plan for the divorce.
Yeah. It's not
If
like
and when it happens.
typically like you don't do postnuptials in times where like it's like this guy where he's clearly got a hidden sneaky agenda
Yeah,
in his
yeah,
back
yeah.
pocket. You do this as like a or like the other example on point number 5 was like someone got a big inheritance, which inheritance is already separated. That's tricky in its of
Yeah.
itself. But it's just a guideline. It's like, hey, you know, your business is doing really well and I want you to keep all your music. I would never take that from you. So let's have another agreement, a postnup where your Park Wild and your music is yours. I would never want to interfere with that.
So if you didn't, why wouldn't you just go through that in the divorce? Because people get
It's
crazy.
insuring.
exactly.
It's security.
Got
Because
it.
people get crazy and emotions come out and emotions are heightened and people don't see straight.
So to
it's,
do it while you're like,
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm sure there's examples of real life people who have had post-nup agreements that were just really civil and really thoughtful and they never had to use it kind of like an insurance policy. And they were well thought out and like Morgan just
Yeah.
said, well intentioned. But
Right.
I think that those are probably the minority in
Yeah.
comparison to the ones of crisis.
well, I'm just thinking like with like special properties or something, you could have gotten married and be like, oh, I guess we could have done this but
Right.
you know, let's just agree that like you keep this stuff from your family, I'll keep this, and like just in case.
That's exactly how they should be used.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the proper way.
Yeah. They're weaponized.
Such as a prenup, the same logic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm shook by this one.
Yeah.
I like, there's no comments from OP. I put an alert for if they post again, but
I mean, it's very similar to having the other family one. It's like, to put it the most simply, you just literally are now with someone that you completely do not know. And the whole situation world you thought you were living in is not real. And so
Honestly, this one is ickier to me than the other one. I don't know. I
I
can't believe
agree.
I'm saying that. Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know why. And people out there might be like absolutely just up in arms that I just said that. But I don't know why. This one seems malicious.
Conniving.
It seems diabolical. The other one's still so messed up. As I just said.
But he wasn't trying to hurt either one.
Yeah.
Like intentionally.
Intentionally.
It was bound to happen, but he wasn't going out of his way to cut at his partner, manipulate his partner, gaslight his partner, abuse his partner. This is financial abuse.
This is all kinds of abuse.
This is
The other one, yeah. Again, they're both really bad, and who are we to judge a situation that we're not in?
yeah.
But
yeah, it's really hard to compare. I just mean like you find yourself in a position you never thought you would, and now it's like,
and you don't know who you're with
your
anymore.
world's just like, what's reality?
Right.
I need to take a deep breath.
I'd be curious if you ever come across a story like this where it's the woman who does this. Because I know that, it's not always the man who does this.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious because you don't hear about those times.
Yeah. I would love to ask a divorce lawyer, and I know like gender roles and like whatever, but
Right.
I would love to ask a divorce lawyer with like 30 years of experience of like who is typically the worst?
Well, I
in
think
your
a
divorce
lawyer
stuff?
with the 30 years of experience is likely going to say men, because it's just recently that women have started to really have
equality.
financial independence, and we're still, paid less than men on average. But I would say maybe like in the last couple of years, have you seen that trend differ?
Yeah.
As women are stepping into positions of power, becoming CEOs, starting their own companies, acquiring financial success on their own,
I could see that. Yeah, I definitely think time has a lot of context to play into that.